There's something really funny about these data centers that I need to explain. I've wanted to make this video for a long time, but I have to explain a concept that is very tough to explain. And I have not heard anybody talk about this. I was kind of hoping somebody else would, but I'll be the one. It's the concept of abstract synthesis versus concrete synthesis. Yeah, as you can imagine, this is already this is heady shit. It's tough to explain, but will help you understand why we are in an AI bubble and the apocalyptic problem that these idiots are creating. The absolute simplest way I can explain abstract synthesis versus concrete synthesis is the fact that robots or computers have been able to beat humans at chess since the 90s. Actually longer, I think since the 80s. So at least 30 years, robots have been beating us at chess. But there is not a robot in the world that can beat even a child or a very uncoordinated person at soccer. And that is because concrete synthesis is a whole other animal. Chess is a purely abstract game. Concrete synthesis is when you manifest results in reality, right? In the real world.
Yeah.
The difference is that abstraction can become infinitely more efficient. The best example of this is the difference between the telegraph and the telephone. When they had to use telegraph, it was very inefficient. You know, the like they had to create like a whole Morse code system. They had to get rid of certain letters. They had to, print it out on a piece of paper and then run that piece of paper to a person. And, the whole comical thing of like the guy reciting, something, stop, full stop, right? That kind of thing. Very, very inefficient. When Alexander Graham Bell came out with the telephone, they were able to use the exact same infrastructure to create telecommunications that was immeasurably more efficient. That is abstract synthesis. You may already see where this is going. You can infinitely become more efficient through abstract synthesis. A lot of people have this idea that Moore's law is about everything. You've probably heard this expression that, if airplanes developed the same way that computers would, they would go around the sun and whatever, they would give you massages, a bunch of mumbo jumbo about how crazy planes would be if they kept up with, the iPhone. That is because of abstract synthesis versus what planes do is concrete synthesis. Concrete synthesis just works at the same rate. It doesn't follow the Moore's law of exponential growth.
Yeah.
Concrete synthesis is just we got to make this system, we got to make that system, and we just move them together in this linear development. Abstract synthesis can follow Moore's law, where everything becomes twice as efficient every 2 years or so, because it's all made up. We're just coming up with different ways of making up shit that does the same result. Hopefully some of you may see where this is going. What these idiots are doing with these data centers that are 60 square miles is they are building out concrete. They're basically building out telephone wires, thinking that they have to make the telegram faster. That is essentially what these people are doing. They think that the way they're going to win this is by just getting people hooked on the telegraph or the telegram. What they don't realize is they have put a $1 trillion bounty on the company that can figure out how to make the telephone.
That's basically and I've been trying to answer this question for a very long time now. Now this guy right here, he just took us to college. He took us back to high school or even, elementary. Broke it down in the most simplest way. And if you guys don't know, he's talking about abstract versus whatever. Y'all know concrete. That's the word. Listen. At this point, nobody has been able to explain why we have nearly 3,000 new data centers being under construction, wiping out communities, not wiping out, but, destroying communities across the entire United States right now as we speak, right? We see it right now in Georgia. We see it in Texas. We see it in Kentucky, in Louisiana. The list goes on. Massive data centers. We're talking about, thousands of acres of land that is being taken up, and nobody is being able to answer why. And a A lot of these companies, they say, oh, because we're trying to expand for AI and we're trying to, prepare for all this, information. And so, like, people have so many conspiracies around what is coming with a lot of these data centers. My question is, why? Why do we need much more? And why is it continuing to just destroy communities? I just don't get it. But yes, 3,000 new data centers. And we're talking about 50,000 gallons of water per day being used. Some of it is rumored to be, circulated water, recycled water, right? It's continued to flow throughout the system. Some of it is just, using from sources that's already nearby. It's crazy. This whole data center fiasco is crazy. And like you said, there is a bounty right now for the next company to find the next innovation to build new things, whatever robots, whatever automation, whatever, save as much money as possible. Because right now, there is no regulation. It's just free reigns, free money, tax write-offs for the billionaires and all these massive corporations. It's insane. Like, seriously, when you really submerge yourself within this information age and what these companies' massive goals are for these layoffs and what their future of the company is, it's actually kind of scary. I'm not going to lie to you. It really makes you think about where we're headed on the basis of the level. But it's crazy. He's gonna break a little bit more down, guys. Let's finish the rest of this video.
It's going to come along, and there's already been a massive warning shot from DeepSeek. Someone is going to come along and going to figure out how to do AI in a way that is 1,000 times more efficient than what these idiots are doing.
Yeah.
It's a guarantee. You can't put this much money on the line without somebody going, we got to figure out a way to beat this. There's so much, the same idea of like, we have to win this or else other people will control the world. Everybody has this. People in Sri Lanka are going like, we got to figure out a way to get on AI. And somebody will. Someone's going to do this. Someone's going to figure out a way to make an AI model that is as powerful as ChatGPT, and it just runs off your iPhone.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know that it will happen.
Exactly.
Because that's how abstract synthesis works. So in reality, these people are financing hardware, thinking that they are going to maintain the same rate of abstract synthesis, not realizing. Hopefully you see why this is so funny, that in a moment, this is all going to be worthless.
Yeah, and that's what I've been saying. I've been thinking that for the longest time. I'm like, why are we building all these different things? And really, I think it's going to be maybe within the next decade or so. Like, that's how fast a lot of this innovation and a lot of this technology continues to develop. And this video is over, but guys, that's how fast it develops. Like, seriously, within the next decade, there's going to be some new system, some new development, some new way that they're going to be able to use some of these systems to the point to where we're not going to need these data centers. It's going to be like you said, from your iPhone, because right now they're putting in so much hardware, technology, and just wasting up space. It's like, yes, right now, it probably is beneficial to a lot of companies. I'm sure this is where we are right now. Cool, great, kumbaya, right? Give it a couple years, and you're going to see the next wave of AI. And people are going to be like, we wasted billions of dollars, billions with the B, on a massive building that we can't do anything with. So now you're going to have all this space, all this overdeveloped land, all this forest land that got chopped down. They try to do farmland, whatever case. All this land that is surrounded by massive buildings that we don't even need anymore. Just like in Utah, where Kevin O'Leary invested all this money into this massive data center, which the community, of course, approved. Well, not the community. The politicians within the area, the officials, they approved without the community, right? The community voted against no. They still say, yeah, all that land, all that area, all those resources that are being absorbed through that data center, still going to be there. And that's why it makes no sense when I see some of these videos. I could never connect the dots. I get it. AI is great. It's new. But when are we going to hit a wall? When is that wall going to hit? And when that wall actually comes up, it's going to be catastrophic for a lot of these companies. I'm not going to lie to you. It's crazy. But this is coming very, very fast. And I think a lot of these companies aren't really looking at it. They're putting their resources in the wrong places. Why not put those resources into developing this new service instead of using the resources that we have of this earth. It's crazy. It makes no sense. But anyways, I can rant about this all day. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below.
When my doctor said I needed to eat